So buying and selling a property, doing no work, selling it through Prime and making £40,000 in profit. Here's what happened. So a few months back, me and John did a talk at an event talking about all the different ways you can make money in property. One of the ways that we highlighted was trading, which is my favourite way, where you buy something, you do nothing and you sell it straight away for a profit. Now, Swathi was at this talk and really liked the idea of trading. A few months later, she's completed a trade through Prime and made £40,000 in profit within, I think it was an 8-week period. Today, we're going to break this deal down.
Hey.
Hiya.
Who are we seeing today?
Today we're seeing Swathi.
Hello.
Hi Swathi.
Hi,
Good to
how
see
are
you.
Good
You
to
alright?
see you too. Yes.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. Yeah, I'll give you a wee tour. So this is the sales area, and then the board you can see over there. So see whenever we get a new offer on a property,
Okay.
it comes up in red. Basically lets the negotiators know they need to qualify the offer, and then once it's qualified we can begin negotiations. Then it goes into orange. Once the offer's agreed, it goes to green, and once the invoice is paid, it comes off the board. So these are the live negotiations just now.
Oh, okay. You're very good. You're very good with your sales.
Yeah, I mean it's good that it's all we do. We don't do anything else, so it helps. How's things with you,
Yeah,
property-wise?
okay. I was expecting that I'll be very busy this year
Yeah.
with that renovation.
Yeah.
And it just sold, so I suddenly feel I don't have a deal flow.
You've cleared your whole year now.
Yeah, yes.
This is the media team. This is Nathan, our media guy.
You're very good, by the way.
Yeah, you want to come through? So see so we want to do like a wee case study of your experience trading through us. I've put together a basic outline. So basically want to ask like what the property was, how you found it, what your exit strategies were. Obviously one was trading it, but you also had potentially doing it up and then selling it. Swathi, thank you very much for coming in to meet us. So we'll go straight into the deal. Find out what happened, the numbers, and how you found it. So, what was this property?
We found it on the open market on Rightmove. They were wanting 145 for it initially when it was on the market. I offered 120 because it had a lot of issues, which usually would scare other people. It scared me a little bit too. But then again, I went in knowing that there was a lot of work involved, and the end values was very good. Like the comparables in that street were really, really good. So we were looking at about 330, 340. So even if we had calculated for about 100k refurb, we still would make a healthy profit. Yeah. So that was how I got into it. And when I found it, and we started negotiations at 120, and then we agreed on 130. The seller just wanted out. So yeah.
So 130k purchase price.
Yes.
And what was the property? So it was a 6-bedroom house.
Yes. So it's a massive 6-bedroom house. The size of the bedrooms are just so big. In fact, I kept telling my husband throughout, I might just be moving into that house. It's just such a nice, very nice. It'll turn into a very nice family home. But as such, in its current state, it needed a lot of repairs. Like it had structural issues, things like that. But again, everything, if you throw money at it, is fixable.
It's just how feasible is it? That's the question.
I think if you budget it correctly and you buy it at the right price, I think it's okay. We had started work on it. To be fair, when I bought this, I didn't really think I was going to trade it on auction. For me, it was more about doing the work and exiting it afterwards. But by then, I'd also heard John Morris speak on in Edinburgh Pin. So I go to a lot of networking events and I keep getting nuggets from here and there. And when I heard him speak about this, just a little idea that I thought, let me give it a shot. So within a week of us buying, I reached out to you and we put it on the market again. I hadn't heard much for about 2 months. And then, anyways, because I wanted to do the work, I had started doing, we had the architect in, so they were doing drawings, we had applied for a building warrant and all of that, but we didn't have to do any of that when you called me and said it's sold. So.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. You listed it with us on the 13th of November. What happened once we listed it?
I heard from you, I think, end of December, yeah. So that's when I heard, and then I was like, oh, we've already started work though. So I was a little bit, thinking about yes, no. But again, I knew that if it is an exit that I can take and get out of it quickly and then move on to other projects, then I would.
Okay, so you bought it 130, listed on 13th of November. we didn't have a lot of interest. We put the guide price attractive, but you had a certain number in mind that you wanted.
That's
And anything below or much below, it was for you, it's better just to do the work and sell it. So at the end of December, we obviously got an offer, and the initial offer was rejected because you wanted more money, absolutely fine. So we managed to get the guy up to £192,000. So at that point, how much money had you spent on the other stuff?
So 130 was the purchase price. Then we paid about 7,800 on ADS, which I think is a debatable thing because it was technically not habitable. But again, I think technical details are like we didn't know, so we paid it anyways. And then we did warrants on it. We did structural reports. I think 10th of January we got our warrant accepted also, the council. So we were all ready to go. So yeah, we would have spent about 3,000 in architect fee, ADS, and my builder had started to strip out as well.
Right, okay.
So yeah.
So all in, what were you in for?
147.
147. So you got the offer at 192, which you were happy with, just to sell it, get the money out and move on. And that was paid on the 30th of December. Well, first of all, what was the profit on that trade?
So about 40K I would say, because taking into account all the other things that I had to pay, and but we are trying to get a little bit of the insurance back and things like that. So I haven't yet come to a proper figure, but about 40K.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad for a few weeks.
Well, yeah.
How did you find the process?
It was very, very simple. I think that's one of the things that I didn't, because I had never had experience selling on auction or buying an auction. I wasn't sure what to expect, but with this particular, it was just 2 phone calls, and I think it goes. I see things on social media that you've been posting on how the buyers are elated, the sellers are elated. But I'm thinking, yeah, that's really how I felt. I was like, yeah, and it was just so simple all throughout. So yeah.
Good. I'm glad. Brilliant. What are your plans going forward?
Yeah, looking for more things. I'm not particular. I'm not really looking at what, and I don't want to stop myself thinking about a particular strategy. I'm open to all as long as the numbers stack and it makes money. So, because this is my full time, so it needs to make money.
Yeah, of course. Well, for anyone watching this, what one tip would you give them in terms of maybe securing a really good deal?
There's a certain amount of madness that goes into anything, not property, but just doing something on your own. I think it requires a certain, everyone has that fear, and just pushing that a little bit above that fear needs a little trust on yourself, but at the same time, you just have to trust the process and your gut. So I think lots of people stop at the fear part, and a little bit madness helps to go to the next stage.
Well, on that point, so you managed to negotiate a really good deal buying in, because in property, as you know, that's when you make the money, when you buy. So, and you're obviously a very, very good negotiator. So what tips would you have for anyone looking to buy something in terms of how they get that price?
I think one thing that helped was that I wasn't desperate to sell or buy also. The moment we start getting desperate, it becomes more, we need it at this price, or we need to do that. So if I hadn't had this big thing in my head that I would make a certain amount of profit afterwards, I probably would be desperate to sell, and I would have taken the lowest offer that you came with. But I think that's what helped.
Yeah. So basically, having different exit strategies allowed you to have comfort with one of them not happening.
That's correct.
Which meant you could maximise the price you got.
Yes, absolutely. That's the fear kicking in also, right? So you see but then you have to trust in the process and think it's okay, it will happen. Might be a year later, but if I hadn't gone into it knowing what I was getting into it, I probably would have panicked. But I think that's where,
Good. Because when we get an offer that we know is, as an investor, that makes sense, and we take it to you, we'll tell you this is what it has to be, because as an investor, if you pay more, it doesn't really make sense.
Absolutely.
But because you didn't need to sell, this buyer wasn't as an investor, they were quite happy to pay way more than what they should, because they want to live there. So it's a different way of looking at it, which meant you got a great price. But the only reason we got there is because you didn't need to sell, and you had other strategies.
No, that's right.
Where can people find you? Where can they find and track your property journey?
No, don't post regularly, but I am on Instagram. So Swathi Chaitanya, you can find me on Instagram. Reach out if you need any help, especially if you're a beginner, because I'm still a beginner. I've just started 2 years ago, but I think I'm learning as I go. And yeah, happy to share.
Right. Well, thanks again for coming in and for sharing your experience. And hopefully we can do more deals, because one thing I will say is that whoever buys from us shows that they're serious. When we get an opportunity that comes in, we know who's going to buy it, which is why we give them the opportunities first. So the best way to get opportunities from us is to buy from us, because it shows you're serious. Thanks again, Swathi.
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, we'll get a picture together.
Turns out I'm not now.
Portrait or landscape? Oh, it's a story. That's right. So you're looking for it because obviously you have this back. Yeah.
Thanks, Dave. That's everything.
So you go on the
Get hammered.